Hey, it's Fish with Outlaw Sound. We just got done doing some serious profiling today. Profiled the Splawn, which is an amplifier that I got from Rich Ward from Stuck Mojo many years ago. And Billy Gray, of course, his guitar player in Fozzy, came by today, and we got some footage for you to share. This is a continuing thing we're doing with Billy and the Quad Cortex, as well as the Kemper. Doing some comparisons, seeing how well they profile certain amplifiers and their differences. So check it out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
The real amp. This is the real amp, and then this is running through the Cortex plate. Sounds a little
different
there.
Yeah, the Cortex sounded like it was missing some of the low mid information that the real thing had too. But again, that was our first.
This isn't the model. This is the real amp going through the Cortex.
Oh, okay.
So like, there's a slight difference going from the amp, straight amp, and then amp through the Cortex, and then model of the amp through the Cortex.
Got it. Because I did notice a difference there.
Yeah, there is a little bit of difference.
Is it adjustable in that little section you have?
A little bit to some degree, but because it's getting a little woolly there. What was that? Okay, so then this is the active.
And also, if you don't mind, in all fairness too, once we're done with this capture, let's connect it up to the Kemper and get a profile of it too.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I think I'd like to have a profile of it as well. That sound is metal AF though. Definitely a happening guitar tone. Alright, so now we're going to do the same profile capture that we did for the Quad Cortex. We're going to do on the Kemper.
Does that sound different or my
Yes, it does.
It does sound different for a minute because Mike's adjusting.
Kemper, not the Quad Cortex.
And we're adjusting levels too.
It's a different interaction.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Different digital interaction.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep. So now we're doing the Kemper. Profile the Splawn.
Okay, let's see here. Let's just go back, storing everything. Okay, sound profile. Let's see if I got the levels right.
Here we go.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
This is the Kemper.
Yeah, the Kemper.
Spaceship landing.
Yeah, too loud.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because once it makes it to that stage, you should hear static and then it'll stop.
It doesn't do all those other songs.
So very low. And really what I found is the lower we did it, the better they sounded.
Yeah, it doesn't like the digital overrun.
The lower the volume?
The lower the volume
makes
going
sense.
in, the Kemper like that. Like, we did it where it was like, it was the maximum volume before it would like give us an error, and then those profiles sounded like shit compared to the ones that were like
They were
hella low.
Yeah, I got
We had
you.
to bring it way down to get it to sound good.
Something else we've
But
noticed
once
that
we did,
I have a feeling will catch a lot of slack on the internet, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. To all you Kemper guys who think that refining your profile makes it better, what do you guys think?
Every profile we refined, it ruined it. It completely ruined it. When we
Best
just
to
did
leave
it
it alone.
with no alterations, you just what comes in is what's being modeled.
You heard it here first, people.
That's the way to go.
Yup, and we're just basing it on things that we've done in a controlled and experience with, you know, just a little bit of gear here at Outlaw Sound. So yeah, we found that refining profiles on a Kemper at least.
And all this stuff, this profile system where it says, you know, you can adjust the bass, the mid. Don't touch that shit. Don't fucking touch it. Just model the sound that you get.
You've already got.
Because when we tried doing that in the past, it just messed it up.
Still might be too loud. I don't know. We got it. That's cool. Sorry, we're listening to the amp. We're not listening to it through there.
I hadn't turned it up yet.
No, it's cool.
Okay.
It's just doing its thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Going again. Here we go. Can't stop my wrist. Can't stop.
Okay, cool. I think we got it. Okay. So let me go. Okay, play. That's the amp. That's the real amp. That's the Kemper.
Yeah. See, that's what we're talking about. All you guys sitting there going, oh, the Quad Cortex destroys the Kemper. I don't think so. I'm not saying it's not
They're
different, but they're different. But the thing is the Kemper still makes extremely convincing profiles.
Okay. Now that's monitoring it through the Kemper. Now if we monitor, because we did this with the Quad Cortex, we noticed that there was a difference between the Quad Cortex amp and then the actual amp.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Listen to, here, play. So here's the reference amp through the Kemper versus the actual reference amp. So there's some difference there too. There's the real amp, and then there's the real amp through the Kemper. You see what I'm saying? Like,
there is slight, and the Cortex, to be fair, does the same thing as what we've
Quad
noticed.
Cortex did do the same thing, just different.
In a different way.
So there is differences between them. So yes, when you monitor it through the thing, they're almost identical.
Yes.
You know?
And just for shits and giggles, we're talking about, you guys just heard how, without any refinement, how the profiles sound. Now, what we're going to do, we're not going to save it. Mike, I want you to do like a lot of people do and hit refine, and I want you guys to listen to it as Billy plays. And you can undo it. So this is what happens when you refine a profile.
Go ahead and play. Just play whatever.
All right, stop for a second. All right, now undo it from the real amp and you'll hear the difference. Go ahead and play. That's the real amp. Hear that muddy mess? That's what happens when you try and refine it with too much low picking. I can tell you from experience too, when we try and do too much treble picking, the profile does the reverse. It tries to overcompensate for it. So the best thing to do is let the Kemper do what it does. Your refining of a profile, in our experience, 9 times out of 10, does more harm than good.
Yeah. So here, I'm actually just gonna redo the profile because you can't undo the.
You can't undo.
No,
I thought you could cancel it afterwards. Oh, okay.
It just commits it straight on.
Does it? Okay, I couldn't remember. I thought you could back it
We'll
off.
just redo the same
Yeah, here it goes.
profile.
Yeah.
You know? It's all good. But it's interesting that happens. You know?
Agreed.
I don't know why they would even offer. Like, what are we refining? What is it? What is it even? What
Well,
is that process?
and one thing I noticed on there, it says
How would it
if
know?
you need to refine the profile. If you read what the Kemper says, it says only if you need to. And it's like, before I ever noticed it on the actual Kemper, every time I heard people talking about it, they make it sound like you have to refine it to make the profile, quote, good.
Well, I bet you if you're just using a 57 going straight into the Kemper, there's no EQ, there's no bass.
Yeah, but people are saying a lot of times it needs it to hear program information that's not in it. And in our experience, even with Billy's crazy whoop hands and harmonic stuff that you would think would be hard to emulate, the profile does it with no problem.
Right.
And we've noticed this both on the Kemper and the Cortex. So I think it kind of comes back to refine at your own risk.
There's the real amp. There's the Kemper. There's the real amp. There's the Kemper. Now,
That's like 98% of the way there.
Now here's the Kemper versus the actual amp. like the Quad Cortex, the low mids kind of whatever, but I think that's just a digital thing.
It is a
just
digital
every
thing.
digital device kind of just does that, but
In the long
It
run, they're
sounds
both
really
great.
good.
They're both great machines.
I would agree 100%. I think they're both really excellent units. They do things differently. I think where the Quad Cortex has the advantage over doing different things, yeah, but the thing is, the Kemper is a design that's been around now for over a decade, relatively unchanged.
yeah.
So,
It still holds up.
yeah, and it still holds up
Holds
even
up for sure.
even though the Quad Cortex is a much more modern design.
Modern, it's
But I
a
think at the end of the day,
it's-
I think the main thing we want to tackle here is people saying out there on the internet that the Quad Cortex is just, I heard one quote saying 4 times better than a Kemper when on distorted profiles. And I think we've both proven here, if it was 4 times better than the Kemper, that would make it twice as good as the real thing, which we know from toggling back and forth, none of these units nail the real thing 100%. They get 98% of the way there on both units, but neither exactly perfectly clone
Yeah.
it.
Let me
It
throw
just
my
gets it.
opinion on it.
Absolutely.
As for leaving, after we do profiles here or captures, and I've done both profiles and captures here in the studio for the Kemper. Now recently with my new quad thing, when I get the quad home and run it through a different system, it just sounds warmer to me. That's my ears. I
I've
don't know,
noticed a
it
little bit of
sounds
that top
warmer,
end warmth, and I think that's
and I
probably
love
something in
it.
conversion.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
where I
like.
would guess, and again,
That's
this is
why
just
I
my
hold the quad a little bit above, just from a performance and just everything standpoint, and the maneuvering and the and just running the things a little bit easier for me.
I would agree on the functionality. The screen and the moving around in it definitely is a little more intuitive than the Kemper. Again, I kind of place that on technology too. And I think the difference that what we're hearing in the sound is probably just conversion. I would guess that the Quad Cortex runs a more modern, better sounding A to D conversion than what's in the Kemper. Not dissing on the Kemper, they're probably, when they originally built it, that was probably, you know, because to be fair, they were making units and they were on the market before Neural DSP was around, to my knowledge. So, you know, you have that going on too. But I agree, there is a certain warmth and a slight difference in the tonal characteristics of the. But to be fair, they're both really, really cool and they're both really, really awesome. Exactly. Agreed. Thanks for checking out the channel, and we hope you enjoyed today's video. Now, like we were talking about with the Kemper and the Quad Cortex, they're both different. We're not saying one is necessarily better than the other. Obviously, we feel like the Cortex is a more modern piece, so it has some functionality advantages over the Kemper. But when it comes to the pure sonics of it, we noticed a very, very slight difference. As far as comments about refining profiles, we'd love to hear what you have to think. And we are planning on putting together some packages, so please like and subscribe, and I'm going to leave a link so that way we can get your information, and we want to be able to share not only profiles, which we know are out there everywhere, but we want to share some of these captures we've been making, which aren't quite as common, so that way you can hear them for yourself if you are a Quad Cortex owner. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll reach out to you. Thanks.